Oh, we are so back, baby. You may or may have not noticed that I haven't posted any videos all month so far. The last videos I posted were like New Year's Day, and it's now like almost the end of January. So the biggest reason behind that was one, a little bit of time off for Christmas. Second reason is the fact that I've had no internet. I only got internet back today when I was making this, and I'm just not very organised to kind of like make videos and then upload them other places. I just do it and then upload it. So that's where I've been, where I've gone. Other things to mention is the room. It looks a little bit different. Mainly the board that used to be on here with a very old logo on it is now gone. It had no purpose. It was weird. So now I can just digitally put whatever I want, but maybe I'll put some permanent up there. I don't know. There's changes going on in here in the way that I produce this part of the video, but that doesn't matter because no one cares. The thing that we care about is bike builds. It is 2026, which means it is the year of the 26er. I have endless amounts of builds planned this year. If anything, it's the thing that I'm going to try and prioritize. I'm going to do less videos about kind of products and things and focus more on builds and community. When I say community, I'm talking about where I bike, the series I did at the end of the year, and a few other series and types of videos I want to get onto doing, including a series called the Builder Report. The Builder Report is essentially your bike section of YouTube. I want you to send me videos and photos of your bikes, little text and stuff about it, and then I will make videos about it. We've done these in the past a little bit, but I want to do them regularly. I think it would be a cool way to kind of talk about your builds and get inspiration from you guys for myself. I'm not gonna lie. There will be a link down below for the Google Drive where there's lots of information about how to get involved in that, and you can submit your bikes. But anyway, there's enough of that. If you've been following the channel for a while, you probably would have seen sometime in the last year that I built up the Pipe Dream Sirius. Essentially, I wasn't keen on the way I built it. There was a few components on it I wasn't quite sure about. The main issue was the fork. I didn't have a good suspension fork that had enough travel, essentially. So I needed to kind of go back to the drawing board and kind of give it another go. I have been working very hard on finding the parts, and I have now got everything I need. I think we should go and build it. So here it is, the Pipe Dream Sirius. It's a little bit crusty, rough around the edges, but nothing too crazy. But let's build this bike up for fun. First step is the decals. I need to remove the old ones so we can put some new ones on, and to do that I'm going to use the Shark Grandma. That's honestly what this thing was called. Bought it in Argos in UK. It's the Shark Grandma, which is essentially just a heat gun. So blast the stickers. This one's coming off because I want to kind of give the bike a little bit of a polishing and cleaning. This is probably a very early plug in the video, but I have just restocked these warning stickers on the website, so if you are interested in them, you can go and get them right now. These heat guns are so useful when it comes to stripping bikes down. Don't use it very often, but I'm glad I have it. But yeah, warning, this bike was built for fun. Please ride irresponsibly. That is what we're going to do. We're going to build this bike up for fun and ride it irresponsibly. Ish. So you thought I struggled with that last one. This is all individual little pieces, so I figured it would be extremely hard and tedious and take ages. The trick was quite literally using something blunt, like a bit of plastic, for example, and then as soon as it got soft enough, it was just to scrape it off. Now this stuff left a lot of residue on the frame, including the previous decals you can kind of see on there. So I continued heating it up a little bit to try and like get it a bit softer and then continue scraping it, but it didn't quite cut it. So enter in the big guns. This is the Juice Lube's chain cleaner. It removes oil, gunk and grime. That is essentially what is left on this frame right now. That is oil, gunk and grime. So in theory it should just lap it up and clean it off. I love Juice Lubes. I've used it for such a long time, and finding new ways to use it is always a benefit. But what else is a benefit is you can get 20% off on Juice Lube orders with a code down in the description. Not being funny, that worked way better than I thought. I thought it'd help a little bit, but that's amazing. That worked pretty good. So what I actually decided to do is give it a bit of a spray all over and just make sure I got any grime or residue from stickers and just stuff gets stuck to frames and bikes over the years. So it was a nice thing to get all of it off and made it all nice again. I'm super happy with the way this come out. I was going to T-cut it originally, that was the original plan, bring a lot of the shine in, but I kind of like the fact that it's slightly dulled and like got a ever so slight matte to it. You can see there's a shine, there's a reflection, but it's not like gleaming. I kind of wanted to have a little bit of the patina, I guess, that you have on these bikes. But the next thing I needed to do is the bottom bracket. The bottom bracket, as you can see, is a bit crusty and dirty. There's definitely some rust in this frame somewhere. So I'm going to use some of this whoa. I don't know what happened there. It's Ultimate Workshop degreaser. Spray it inside the frame, give it a bit of a clean out. Really, it's kind of high pressured. You see, it's going to get rid of all the crap, and then I'm going to use some JL69, which is a penetrating oil basically. I'm going to fill the frame with it as much as I can. So what would be nice is some like what do they call it, rust what are they called, frame saver, which is a very similar thing to this anyway. It's a penetrating oil that you can kind of coat the inside of the frame, kind of slows everything down, stops it in its tracks to a point. The frames feel solid. I don't think there's anything serious to worry about, but yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea to fill it up with as much of this as I could, and then give it a good shaking, twisty, turny round. So last thing I did was a bit more of this on one of these, in that on this. This being a drill, that is. Oh, I also did it in there as well. Now this is great and it works really, really well, and it kind of gets all the crap out, but it did, however, spray all the rusty dirt all over the bike again, so I had to give it one more clean before we took it inside and fitted some new decals. So next step is to actually move on to decals on the bike, but before we talk about the decals for this bike, let's talk about decals for your bike. See what I did there? So I've already mentioned the fact that these warning stickers have been restocked on the website, so they are now available again, which they haven't been for a while, so there's a bunch on there for you. Also, the new logo. Anybody who's noticed that so far? Yes, I've got a new logo, fresh year, fresh logo, and obviously there's a sticker involved in that, but it's included in a sticker pack that has the logo, the new little smiley face, which I really, really like, a new Save or Bite sticker, which is a little tombstone, a new proper crusty. You've been asking for a new proper crusty for ages, which is a little cactus, which I think is really cool, and then a brand new sticker, the Steel is Real sticker, which is super cool. So this is going to be in a sticker pack, all these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stickers, and they're all available on the website right now. The links below, but it's saveorbikes.com. Thank you.
Now, I was chatting to the lovely people at Pipe Dream some time ago now, and they were super cool and sent me out some new decals and a lovely top cap as well. So they sent me out a couple of different versions of each logo, so I had kind of options. I kind of wanted to try and work out which one it would have gone with stock. It's hard to tell on the video, but I did notice at this stage that there was an ever so slight indent. There was a slight, you could see where there was a sticker before previously, and it was definitely this style basically of logo. And then I remembered that the logo on the Sirius that I took off the bike was like the black Pipe Dream logo, and I don't have one matching, so essentially I should have left that on so that it matched this one that I'm now going to put on the frame. Pro tip when it comes to decals, always start on the non-drive side, because if it's not quite right, it's unlikely to be pictured as much. But what I did do, which was really nice, was essentially match this up with the little indentation. Why do I keep saying that? Like the dent where the old decals were, which made it really easy to get them lined up and probably exactly where they were factory, which made me very happy and very satisfied. What didn't make me happy though was the fact that essentially I peeled off the Sirius part logo that matched the ones that I put on here. It's the whole point I wanted to get new decals for it, the fact that it all matched and was correct, and it's essentially still not right, but we're going to just move past that. I'm going to put the head badge on. Now, you may have heard that cracking in the background there. That is my son smashing some ice. So I saw this as a great opportunity to try and shove some components on this bike before the sun went down. Starting with a little bit of hope. This is a Suntour Epicon. I think that's how you say it. Epicon. Sounds about right. It is 140, I think. Steer is just long enough, but it should be just the right amount of squish. For the stem is this Detti cavity. Yeah, there we go. Cavity. It's 50mm. And it just looks really nice. I have on my State EB a 50mm stem with some riser bars on it, and it just feels so comfy. So I'm trying to replicate that essentially. So that's what we're using. You might be able to spot that really weird space that I've put in the middle with the little groove in it. That is so I can put the kids ride shotgun seat on this bike. The Ritchie Coyotes are my favourite bars that I've ridden for a very long time, and I do have a comp buzzard bar on my State EB, which is essentially the same sort of flair as the Coyotes, but it has an extra bit of rise as well. Can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but they're very comfortable, so that's what we're going to give a go. The last thing I'm going to add to this bike today, because it was getting dark, are these wheels. So the tyres are Barzos, which are Vittoria, the rims are T2 Halos, and the hubs are Novatech. These wheels are actually put together by Udit Stair Cycles, and they're so good. I used them all summer long last year, and I'm very excited to be using them again. Should we go look at it?
can't remember the last time I built a bike like this. I don't really remember like the last time I had a daily kind of build that had suspension in it. I've got a full-size Canyon that lives very deep in the sheds because it's just not my cup of tea usually for general amounts of riding. So this is kind of exciting. I haven't really mentioned yet, but essentially this build is kind of going to be my adventure dad bike. And what I mean by that is it's going to be the best bike for towing my son on one of those kind of poles with his bike, and then the kids ride shotgun can go in the middle. It's a nice kind of like hopefully soft and cushy ride with loads of standover so my kids can get on it, and I can go around traveling in the summer and whatever we end up doing. So it's kind of like my mountain bike. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's a mountain bike, my actual mountain bike, hardtail for the summer for family use. That being said, I do feel like it's going to be quite a fun bike to ride, so it's going to be good for just general riding about and having a bit of a laugh. So yes, I'm excited. The only thing currently that I'm not quite sure on, and I'm going to try and test out in the next video, is the handlebars, because I kind of think it might look quite cool with silver bars. And just in case it does look cool with silver bars, I've also purchased a new seat post which is also silver. Cranks are going to be black. The rest of it is kind of as it is. So I'm thinking because of the silver rims, I'm just a bit of silver. So we've got those parts to play with. Do let me know your thoughts on that. If I was going to start changing some colours of components and stuff like that, would you? What would you do? And then that's about it really. Everything else is kind of cool. Once this bike's out of the way, I have a handful of pretty big projects coming on. Several of them are going to be building bikes that I'm planning on giving away to you guys. So if you don't subscribe to this channel, you need to subscribe to this channel. This is your sign to being part of this. I have a couple of builds, some 26s, some other things as well that I've been teaming up some brands with, that I'm going to essentially build some bikes that I want to give away. I have too many bikes. I always have got too many bikes, and it's getting a little bit ridiculous. So I want to start giving back to you guys. So there's a couple of builds that will be coming up very soon, talking like February, March, and they will essentially become your bikes. So if you don't subscribe to the channel, this is the time. Why not? Because it's about to get real. I don't know what I'm saying. That's it. So if you're new to the channel from this video, hello and welcome. We make lots of different bike kinds of content around here, including giveaways. Apparently they're going to be coming very soon as well, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, like I just said, do it. That's the button there. It's absolutely free and it helps me out a bunch. And if you can't wait until the next video, that one up there is a particularly good one.